Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to create an account on the online textbook and how to navigate to the assignments and just show you some of the features of the online textbook. So if we're on the syllabus page here, you can see that there's a little textbook section under course resources. So first you're going to need to create an account. If we open up the link here, we can see that there's a registration page, and we can create a username. So maybe I'll just create one, MSU CSCI 127 test student, just a first name of test, last name of student, and I'm going to use my personal email here. Just create a password. So for this email, make sure that you use something that you have access to, because this is how you will recover your password if you ever lose or forget that. And then under the course name, if we go back to the web page, we can see that we're supposed to enter CSCI 127 Summer 2020 as the course name. So I'll just do that. Put that in here. Oops. Paste it in. And then I'm going to need to agree to the terms and conditions. And then since we're a student, not an instructor, we won't check this. And now I just click sign up. And I'll get to a page asking for a donation. We can just skip that. And then we are now registered for the CSCI 127 Summer 2020 course. We can see this is sort of the main page here. It shows us both, there are some assignments that we'll get to in a second, and then I just wanted to show, so if we scroll down here, this is the book. We will be going through some, but not all of these chapters. And you can get into the chapters just by clicking on them. And then this shows all the subsections. So for example, here's just a small subsection, chapter 1.1, and you can see that as soon as I navigate to this page, it says you have attempted one of one activities on this page. So every page, just simply viewing it is an activity. And then this sort of mark as completed button is for your own use. If you want to say, yep, I've read this, I can mark it as completed. And then, because I've marked it as completed, if we go back by clicking just to the general page, you can see that there's this check mark because I marked it as completed. But that's just for your own use. You don't have to mark things as completed if you don't want to. I'll go back here and uncheck it, and we can just see what does that do. You can see that now it's no longer completed, but it does know that I read it. And that counts as sort of an activity in the assignments. Other subsections will have questions like this, multiple choice, where you're able to select an answer after reading the book. So for example, for this question, if I want to answer it, what is the most important skill for a computer scientist? Well, in these previous two paragraphs, it actually tells me that the answer here is to be able to solve problems. And I can check this using the Check Me button, and it tells me that I got it right. But maybe if I wanted to check out the other answers, or maybe I got it wrong, it will give me a helpful hint maybe to guide me toward the correct answer. But it will always, if you've ever gotten the right answer, it will remember that, and will just grade your best answer. And so you can see here that because I've visited the page, hopefully that indicates that I've read it, because I've visited the page and because I've done one activity here, it says you've attempted 2 of the 3 activities on this page, and that's what you're going to be graded on, is doing some number of activities on the page. So let's go back. We can see the book. So now let's check out the assignments. So you can see that there are some assignments here. They have a due date and a description. So the first assignment is due at 5 p.m. Mountain Time on May 18th. The assignment is to read Chapter 1 and do the assigned number of exercises or activities per subsection. So if I just click on that, what do I see? Well, I see that that same Chapter 1 that I was seeing before has now been organized into this sort of assignment view. Tells me when it's due, and so far it says I haven't gotten any of the points yet. But we can, if we click Score Me, we can start to see that when I click Score Me, it sort of auto grades what I've done. And so we can see that just by visiting this way of the program subsection, I earned a point, right? Because I only needed 1 activity here, and I did that activity. Also on the algorithm section, if we remember, click back to there, we saw we did 1 activity here, and we also visited the page. So we've done 2 out of 3, and if we go back to, maybe I can just click the back button, and now I'm back on this assignment. So I've earned a point here because there were only 2 required activities. I can do all 3 if I want, but you're not required to do all 3. So now let's take a look at this next subsection here, the Python programming language. So we can see that at this point I've earned 0 points, and there are a minimum of 3 activities required. And just visiting the page is an activity. So if I want to get a point for this, I just need to go in here. Ideally, I would read this, but simply by visiting it, you can see that I've attempted 1 of 4 activities on this page. So now maybe let's go back. And if I were to click Score Me, even though I've done 1 activity, I need 3 to get this point here. So in general, I would suggest for these reading assignments, just starting and just going through all of them, just read it. You can mark it as completed if you want, and then we can press next section here, and then I would just read through this and do all the activities. I think you'll get a lot out of just doing all the activities. Won't take too long, and also if you're confused ever about any of the activities, you can always post on the Slack and get help from your peers or from me. So I would just suggest going through and doing all the activities, and then you'll definitely get all the points for that reading assignment. So another way to navigate to the assignments is on this little person button. So here I just clicked assignments and I can get to the assignment page. Another thing that can be nice here is you can view your profile information or edit it by clicking Edit Profile. So here I went to Edit Profile, and now I can see my username in case I don't know what that is. I can change my first and last name. I can see which email I signed up with, which is really useful, again, if you lose your password. And if you want to change anything here, you would do that. you can see that if you try to go to the instructors page, you'll just get a insufficient privileges warning here, which is fine. Oop, okay, I want that to go away. Maybe you'll go to assignments. If you ever want to search the book, maybe you want to search for variables, you can do that. And you can start to see information about which chapters talk about variables. And there's also, you can get to the table of contents for the book this way, and also the book index. And I think that's all that I guess we can take a look at the progress page. So I am going to do your grading on this. The final grade will just be recorded in Brightspace, so you don't really need to worry too much about the grades here, but if you want to check them, you can. But the final grade will just be on Brightspace. But this shows sort of like you can see your recent activity. I think that as you sort of complete the book, you mark sections as completed. These maybe will turn green in the future. But otherwise, hopefully this is enough to get you started. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks and good luck!